GPT Image 2, Nano Banana 2, FLUX.2 Max. Which AI model is the best for virtual try-on? Now we'll compare them across multiple tests. By the end, you'll know which one deserves the top spot. I'll evaluate them across 5 different scenarios: changing a top, changing bottoms, replacing a full outfit, including shoes and accessories, adding a hat, adding sunglasses. The goal is to change only the outfit while preserving everything else. Let's start with changing the top. First, open the AI image module in NiceGen AI and select Image to Image. NiceGen AI offers many other models as well. Today, we're focusing on these 3. But if you're interested, feel free to explore the others and see which one works best for your needs. Next, upload the model photo and the clothing image. After uploading, you'll see an image number displayed in the top left corner of the thumbnail. Once uploaded, enter your prompt. Whenever you type the @ symbol, it will automatically display a list of your uploaded images. Simply select the image that matches the number shown in the top left corner. Make sure the image numbers match correctly. Otherwise, the prompt may reference the wrong image, which can lead to errors or unexpected results. I'll put the prompt in the video description. Now let's configure the generation settings. For all 3 models, I use a 2:3 aspect ratio to keep the comparison consistent. For GPT Image 2, I set the resolution to 1K and the quality option to medium. For Nano Banana 2, I also use a 1K resolution. For FLUX.2 Max, simply select the 2:3 aspect ratio and the default settings are good to go. Once everything is ready, click Generate, and let's compare the results. GPT Image 2 does a solid job here. The new top looks natural, and the model's face, pose, and body remain almost completely unchanged. Nano Banana 2 performs even better. The clothing blends more naturally with the original image, making the result look highly realistic. FLUX.2 Max also generates a wearable result without obvious artifacts, but it noticeably changes the overall color tone of the image. For this round, Nano Banana 2 delivers the most natural-looking result. Next, let's replace the bottoms. Just enter the prompt as before and click Generate. GPT Image 2 successfully changes the skirt, but the clothing color becomes noticeably darker, and it also replaces the original shoes with a different style. Nano Banana 2 once again produces a very natural result. The model's appearance stays consistent, while the shoes remain faithful to the original image. FLUX.2 Max continues to alter the model's expression and the overall image tone. In addition, the buttons on the skirt no longer match the reference garment. This round is another clear win for Nano Banana 2. Now let's test a complete outfit. Since you're working with multiple images, be sure to double-check that every @image reference in your prompt points to the correct image. Let's see what we get. GPT Image 2 performs well overall. The model remains consistent, but it increases the contrast between the clothing colors. For example, the light khaki pants become noticeably closer to beige. Nano Banana 2 produces a very realistic overall result. Although the pants become slightly darker than the reference, the clothing integrates naturally with the original photo. FLUX.2 Max once again changes the image tone, modifies the model's pose slightly, and even replaces the bracelet on the model's right wrist. Overall, GPT Image 2 and Nano Banana 2 are very close in this test. Personally, I still give a slight edge to Nano Banana 2, mainly because the final image looks a bit more realistic. Now let's see how each model handles adding a hat. GPT Image 2 produces a clean and natural-looking result. The hat fits the model well, and the overall appearance looks convincing without introducing any noticeable issues. Nano Banana 2 also performs very well. Compared with GPT Image 2, it generates a hat with a wider brim, making it stand out more and giving the overall look a bit more visual impact. FLUX.2 Max falls into the same pattern we've seen throughout this comparison. It once again changes the overall color tone of the image, and the hat placement doesn't look as convincing as the other 2 models. Overall, the difference between GPT Image 2 and Nano Banana 2 is quite small in this round. Both produce high-quality results. Finally, let's replace the sunglasses. GPT Image 2 changes the frame design and doesn't accurately reproduce the lens color from the reference image. Nano Banana 2 does a much better job, preserving both the overall style and the color more faithfully. FLUX.2 Max still shifts the image tone, although the model's pose remains mostly unchanged this time. However, the sunglasses appear noticeably oversized and less natural than Nano Banana 2's result. This round goes to Nano Banana 2. After all, Nano Banana 2 delivers the best overall virtual try-on performance. It consistently preserves the model's identity while producing realistic clothing replacements with minimal unintended changes. GPT Image 2 is also a strong performer. However, it tends to enhance clothing colors by increasing saturation or contrast. Depending on your preference, you may actually like this slightly more vibrant look. FLUX.2 Max, on the other hand, feels like a designer with a strong artistic style. Instead of strictly following the reference, it often adjusts the color grading, styling, and even small details based on its own interpretation. If you're looking for creative variations rather than faithful reproduction, it can still be a fun option. But if your goal is accurate and realistic virtual try-on, Nano Banana 2 is the clear winner in this comparison. NiceGen AI also offers a dedicated virtual try-on module, powered by Nano Banana 2. With this module, you don't need to write any prompts, just upload your images and the model takes care of the rest. If you already have a complete outfit image or separate images of the top and bottom, the virtual try-on module is the quickest and easiest option. However, if your clothing items are provided as separate images, such as an individual top, bottoms, shoes, hats, or other accessories, using image-to-image with the Nano Banana 2 model gives you much greater flexibility and control over the final result.